Interred room, how are you guys? So this is gonna be like, I don't know, it's not really a serious video, but I guess it's a little bit more serious. I am here to announce that I surrendered my cat. This is the second cat I've surrendered in like a year. And so my reflections on that is basically this video. So yeah, I've had two cats at this point. I had one last year in 2024, and that was like a few months after my grandmother died. Like, my grandmother died in the winter. I got an adopted cat in the summer, and then by like the fall, like I had surrendered cat because like I lost my job, so I was like, I can't support you. And like there was like issues. I was like, maybe like I'm over my head. The cat was 12. I kind of actually think, and reflecting about like the first cat that I had, that maybe there was like some cognitive decline because I had done like research into it about like when they get a certain age, because she was 12, so it was kind of like, you know, maybe it was behavioral, maybe it was cognitive decline. But I did notice some things. So like the outside of the litter box, and then because it was like immediately day one outside of the litter box, not even like she didn't even like the litter box, she just day one didn't do the litter box. So I don't know if that was behavioral or what. Then she would vocalize like at night and stuff like that. So I was just like, I don't know about that. And it being my first cat, maybe I shouldn't have gotten like an older cat, because I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I lost my job, and it was like, well, I know what to do now. I have to surrender you because like I don't have a job. So how can I take care of you? Like, there's some other stuff going on here. I need to find a job. So yeah, but I didn't give up on like having a cat just because of like that, because it was just like, okay, maybe an older cat isn't for me because I'm very overwhelmed, and this is a huge learning curve for me. So yeah, and I didn't mind like the presence of a cat. It's kind of weird having a pet in your house because it's like it's kind of weird. Like, I told my friend, I was like, the sentience of something else outside of myself, humans, and like the plants that I take care of, is like very weird to me, because like I never grew up really having a lot of pets. The only pets I technically have ever had have been fish, but I think I've gone through a spiritual awakening type thing. So like the sentience of like other beings is like a thing, right? And being around other beings that are not human, and like I said, not my plants and stuff, it's kind of weird because like they're having their own experience within the same space, and it's just like a weird thing because like I've lived here like almost 30 years of my life, right? Like, I'm 31, so like I've lived here pretty much my whole life. And so like that shared space now with like something else is kind of like weird. Not bad, but like weird, right? And then something that's like so small, it's kind of weird. I mean, obviously I had fish, so they were small, but it's just like small and like actually moving about the space. That was like kind of like, that's a very interesting thing. Again, I didn't grow up with like cats and dogs as pets, nor did I really have a lot of people in my family who have pets. My one great aunt had a cat, and that's about my experience with cats. And then she had dogs, and they also were like kind of weird. Her cat was kind of like, and then the dog she got when I like went to visit her in Virginia when we used to go on vacation and stuff like that, like they were like really aggressive for some reason. Well, one was like pretty nice, but the other one was like really aggressive to everybody but her. And I was like, wow, like this is like up. But anyway, so that experience, the first cat experience, didn't deter me from the second. The second one didn't deter me, but I kind of realized that like for my life where I am right now, I just cannot make the sacrifices to have a pet. And I think that was like an uncomfortable truth, like to think about, because I like this is my confession. Like, I never really had to like let you guys know anything, but like obviously if you've heard my like cat in the fucking videos and like now you don't hear the cat at all, I mean, I guess you could assume the cat is always like upstairs or something, or always asleep, but like no, the cat doesn't exist in this space anymore. They exist hopefully not in the like shelter space for long. So I started her this past like Friday. It's now almost Sunday because it's almost midnight. And so like I'm reflecting on that, right? Because I have to like donate toys and like not throw away food, but like actually officially clean the whole litter box and like throw everything out and kind of like finalize this experience of owning pets. I think owning them taught me a lot about myself, brought out a lot of shadow aspects of myself. I am a control freak, and if you are a pet person, you cannot be that. You can't be a control freak because pets are their own being. Obviously, there is going to be some sort of hierarchy because it's like you're the person that like picked them up and you're the person that's responsible for them. So like, you know, like there's certain things, and you do have as a person boundaries, right? Like, and certain things that like shouldn't really be happening, like them going outside the litter box or going inside your like out, you know, outside of the spaces, like being having destructive tendencies and stuff like that. And so you have to like really be like careful and attentive. And I kind of realized like I couldn't be as attentive as I wanted to be because I was always like gone. Like I'm gone like a lot of the day leading into the night, and then like when I'm home it's like I'm still like not there. Still not emotionally there because like I'm still thinking about a bunch of stuff. And so like I think pets are not kids, let's get that straight. But if you're having a pet, like those sort of questions that you would ask if you were to have a kid do like need to be evaluated. Like, can I be attentive to this pet? Because they need like a lot of attention. First of all, people like did not like people lie. Cats are very, like they need a lot of attention. People say dogs need a lot of attention, but I feel like cats need a lot of attention, and cats are very my granddad is bathing himself, just so y'all know. Just like what's happening, but cats need a lot of attention and a lot more emotional attention and emotional, like they need a lot more emotionally than you think. And for someone like me, it's just like whew, like this is exhausting, just because it's like metering out all the stuff I had to meter out. I was like, I can't do this like all the way. And I'd rather them be in a space where like that person can, like they can literally physically be there, because like I'm doing these videos, I be doing these videos at like midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, because I'm not fucking home. If I'm home, I'm generally asleep because I'm tired. So, and it's not like working hard. It's like I have other projects. I'm always like doing something. I'm either at my job, doing other side projects that make money, or like, yeah, like that's, yeah, I'm always gone. And so, like, I was like, Cat, you gotta go, because I'd rather you go to a house where you can get more attention than you need, that like more attention than I can give you, and more attention that you really genuinely need, right? Because she's still like young. The second cat that I got was 3. The first cat genuinely was like, this may not be, I may not financially be able to take care of you anymore. Like literally I may not be, because like I lost my job and I had to find a job quick, and luckily I did transition well, but in the meantime I didn't know what was going to happen. And then like the litter thing, again, having a litter issue, and an older cat, being a first time cat owner, that was just too much. So I think I've learned personally that emotionally I am not as attentive as I need to be to take care of a pet for where I am in my life right now. Like I just can't do it, because there's a lot more actual structural things that need to be in place for me to like do it. I'm a little bit better on the finance. Like, I was able to feed a cat, buy litter, do all those things. But the emotional aspect really was like, I can't be here a lot. Because, like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of mental stuff. And, yeah. And some people were like, girl, I go to 9 to 5. It's just like, yeah, but you are solid. I'm trying to, like, get stable in many facets of my life. I can't do it. But anyway, yeah, so I learned a lot about myself, about cats. Would I have a pet again? Yes, but I just feel like it would be when I'm really stable financially, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. I think when I'm really like able to give that. It's the same thing with kids. Like, there's a reason why I don't have kids. Like, there's a reason. Like, I do not have kids because they require a lot. And I know people are like, you never know until... Yeah, but they require a lot. They need a lot. Like, when you're taking care of others, especially like kids and stuff, like, they need a lot. And you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot and give a lot of yourself. And there's an intentionality there that needs to happen. And if you are not that, then just make that known and keep it pushing. Like, I don't feel personally bad for surrendering a cat that I realize I may not be able to take care of to the capacity that that cat is going to need. I'd rather the cat go through the stress of going back and then going to a home where they can like actively like thrive. Right. That's that tiny bit of time that they're like back surrendered. Than them being here and then like declining because like, you know, the person that's like is taking care of them is not home. Yeah. So, and that was the thing. Like, and then when I get home, I'm just like, I really can't emotionally give to you, cat. And so yeah, I was very straightforward about that. Like, that I was shifting and growing in a way that like I just knew that going forward I was not gonna be able to like actively like be active pet owner. So I think that in the future I will like adopt my compromise if I really want to interact with cats or just pets in general would be to just volunteer. I was considering fostering, but I was just like, I still, again, cannot, like, that requires a level of commitment I may not be able to have. And the amount of resources that is required to, like, foster, like, animals and stuff like that, like, that's a commitment. And people who do it, I commend you, right? Because you're not really getting paid for it. So if you're taking in an animal or 2 or 3 or however many you're taking in, like, that is a financial cost and that's an emotional cost that somebody is paying, and they deserve like the respect. So yeah, like, that's kind of where I am. So yeah, my like cat, she is no longer my cat. Signed over the paperwork Friday. And yeah, so it's just kind of like the slow process of like adjusting, right? Because there's an adjustment period to like I said, something sentient and alive being in your house that's moving around and having its own experience, and then like not having that anymore. That's a transition. So that's about it. I do think that it's going to be over a year before I even consider having pets. I'm still in school, so I think the way that school is going to go, I'm going to have to focus on that, getting more hours, transitioning jobs. Now I'm pursuing my license again to get my licensure back. I didn't lose it like fucking up, like, but I let it elapse because I had to pay a fee, and it was just like I wasn't making enough money to get the fee. So I let it lapse, and then I had signed a non-compete anyway for my massage. So it was like, I'll just transition out of that for a while. But it's a year coming up, and I was watching a video, and somebody mentioned non-compete. And I was like, oh yeah, like I signed a non-compete for a year, and so like that year is basically done. So like now I could, like, the energy is not blocked anymore. Like that non-compete and like losing that job, that massage job, when I initially had that first cat, that was the pause in that part of my journey, and it's starting to move up again. And so yeah, and over the course of the next few months, I hope to get that back and get more stable and stuff like that. And I think it's just a lot that's been going on from the last year that like I need to like really like fully deal with and reconcile with. And I think that a pet can't be in that space while I'm doing that. That like, I don't know, like I told my friend, I was like, I feel like this house is like a fucking halfway house for cats or something, because it's like they're here for a very short amount of time and then they go off to be in other good families. It's like, it feels weird. And then like there's cats around here that are like strays and stuff like that, and I'm just like what are you to me on this journey? Like what? So yeah. But yeah, that's my cat story. I will try my hand, if I do ever get pets in the future, my hand at dogs. And I do feel like I may also, surprise, prefer dogs. I like cats. I think that cats require something that perhaps I do not have to give them. And yeah, there's something about like that dynamic that was very shadowy for me, like, because I was just like, for you, like, cats, they need a lot more than people think. And yeah, yeah, I'll leave it at that. They need a lot more. And again, like I said, at this point I can't do it. Physically I'm exhausted, I can't do it, and then mentally kind of fried, I can't do it. So yeah, like, I'm gonna check the website and just make sure that she goes to a good home, and they wrote like a picture and stuff like that, and then I'll donate all the stuff to where I need to donate it and all that kind of good things. Because yeah, I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather my former cat go somewhere where they can like really pay the attention, and she can get acclimated to that and like thrive. Because if she's 3, then she has presumably another like maybe like 15 plus years to live, like, you know. So yeah, so that's my story. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Did you ever surrender a cat or a pet or anything like that, and how was the experience for you? Some people, you know, they're very like, a pet is here for life, but understand, I think I'll get really personal with you. So the reason why I'm able to do this is because I, as a child, was given up by my mother to someone who was more capable of doing the like work. And so for me, it's kind of like that Saturn energy. You guys aren't the same channel, but like that Saturnian energy and astrology of that lesson. Like now I have like gone through that lesson. It's kind of funny, but yeah, that lesson and that cycle of like, I'm not able to do this, I will give, literally like relinquish rights to something for someone else to take care of if I cannot do that. And I understand that because I am a child of that, right? So yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.